Welcome back to Closed Circuit Sports. I'm Drew Goldman, and this is day 3. With the second heat race of day 2 being rained out, and that being only the second heat race of the weekend, this is heat race 2. They moved it to the morning, they canceled the first practice, they replaced it with the heat race that would have concluded the day before. So here we are, in the wet, again. Thank God, on the wet tires, this time. See previous sessions for the full story. And at this point, everybody's really thinking about what the rest of the day is going to look like. After this, pre-final, and then the final. At this point, everybody knows the line, everybody knows where to put the kart, just a matter of executing. And as we wrap up our formation lap and grid up for the start, these little electric karts get to go from a standing start. Not every karting division gets to do that. Typically, I think it's just the shifters, honestly. And then specific places. K1, obviously. I love grid starts. A favorite thing about Formula One that no other top tier racing has. Except for karts. We are underway. You might notice that there was no telemetry. That's because, that. Nothing we could really do there, but avoid the contact. Going up the inside wasn't really an option from where we were. I wish it had been, but it wasn't really. I think we took pretty good evasive action there. Unfortunately, I do believe that we had pushed the bumper in there. Now we're catching up. We're gonna get in here. Boom, the inside. Keep it. Almost yeeted it off the track myself. We got somebody else off here. He's pushing himself back on. That might have been stall cut, actually. He's been fast all weekend. That's the only reason I say that. Now the race is on. Like, for real, for real. And on these wet tires, in the wet, we're pulling about a G lateral, which is good. Honestly, all things considered, pretty damn good. Now, it seems that everybody else is getting a little bit more through the kart than we are. And I'm okay with that at this point. We still have 2 races to go. I'm not trying to smack this thing into the wall. 2 races left on the table. What I am trying to do is get all the juice I can out. The squeeze I'm putting in. Running pretty close to the edge there. And our typical 45-second lap has been eviscerated by the rain. 51 seconds. Now obviously I'm a couple seconds off the pace. But I'm not happy with that number. And so we kind of get after it here. There he goes, stall cut through. And that's Jack Linder as well. His dad sent me the pictures. He's a nice guy. His brother was cool. His brother's a pilot. We talked about that for a little bit. One of the things that they don't ever quite capture about events like this, whether it's karting or endurance racing or club racing or track days, is all the time that you get to spend with the people off the track. Because on the track is one thing. Off the track, everybody gonna be nice. I don't even know who that was off there. Yikes. Alright, so and we're starting to have to wrestle with it. I wonder where we actually end up. It went on paper, I believe, as a 6-lap race, but we'll see here in a second. We're having a bunch of little moments with the car here. The tires should be warm, but I don't know how much to trust them. I'm definitely trying to crank too much out of the cart. I'm trying to get back under 50-second laps, and it just can't be done at the moment, it seems. The wind was just howling all weekend because this thing accelerated constantly. There was no point where it stopped, where it goes, that's all I got. There was none of that from this go-kart. That power supply had plenty more than I was able to ask for. On a track this, forgive me, small. Looking at the track around me, I was very much jealous of the guys who got to run on the full endurance road course. And I think these would have been up to the task. Maybe not for a whole half hour of racing at those top speeds, but 15 minutes for sure. And how much could they get done in 15 minutes? I don't know, 4 laps maybe? I'd be happy with that for an intro session, especially in something that can top out at 100. They were saying that if you gave this thing enough track, I believe it. The reason I believe it is because at a track like Daytona, I've been told that you can get X30 or a KA100 over 100 miles an hour on the banking, which I think is insane. But that's, of course, with the right gear ratio, all that. Shifter cars can absolutely get it done. All right, that was the end of the race. Must have only been 5. I thought it had been a data thing that I had lost it. Man, that whole race, actually, we ran pretty consistent from the first lap through. First lap was our fastest. It's kind of crazy, but I know it was actively raining during this race. Not just spray. So there were people who definitely ended up on the worst side of that. I was a little nervous that the electronics of it all might give us issues as we got wetter and wetter, but everything held up. Everything kept doing exactly what we needed it to. I was really impressed by the technology. I know that the management of the team, quote-unquote team, league, quote-unquote, like all of the division, quote-unquote, I don't even know what to call it. It was an experiment. It was an exhibition. But the technology was amazing.
Thank you.
That power supply and that motor are very, very impressive. And the Burrell RY32 that they stuck it onto is top tier. Top tier. We got a Burrell RY30 coming. It ain't in the mail anymore. It's out of the office. We just gotta get it all built at a Whiteland Raceway Park with CW kart. I'm really looking forward to the season. My first full season running karts at this level. And if this was a sneak peek, I'm excited. We came 8th in that session out of the 12 who ran. I'm surprised, but I'm also grateful. It was a great time. Looking forward to the next one. Pre-final up next. Pre-final guy, Harry. You'll see.